Hello, hi, I'm Shalini, and I'm going to do the setup for Cloud9. This is for the edxCS169.1x, the CAS course by Berkeley, right? I'm just doing the setup, which is the basic prep for the entire course, and it constitutes week 1. Okay. Some have reported a problem having to set up, but I just run through the steps and see and show how it's done. I'm sharing my screen space at this moment. Right. So what we need first for this is, second, I don't think I'm sharing everything. Just going to do a screen share. Better. So the first thing we need, if you go to the setup instructions, okay, this is a link from the course itself to do it and set up instructions. And okay, you'll find these instructions at the SaaS book and full information for setting up Cloud9. Right. The first things you need for this setup, basic thing you need is an access as an account to add it in GitHub, right? It'll be a free account. Mostly, I mean, it's most often a free account. Okay, and since GitHub is the repository that's being used for extensively throughout the SaaS course, it's absolutely mandatory to have an account. It's a very easy setup. The setup itself is quite straightforward. I already have an account, so I'm just going to sign in. And you're creating an account in Cloud9. Really, it helps if you're already logged into the GitHub. It helps to what do you say? Your credentials just get validated and becomes an automatic sign-in. I'm just logging in GitHub, and that's me. Right, just ignore this is just something I've set up for my R&D. Okay, now we need to set up, this next thing we need to do is, so first setup is you have to create and log into a free account on Cloud9. And to do that, you need to have an account created on GitHub. So if you already have the account on GitHub, so let's go to the Cloud9 account. And again, it's very straightforward. If you can just do a sign up. Okay, it just asks if you're already logged into GitHub. It just asks you for just do an automatic sign in for using your credentials. Next step we do here is we just create a new workspace. Now, right now I'm on a clean slate in C9, right? So I'm going to create a new workspace. I'm the owner here, and I need to give in a couple of details on this page, right? Just information on what it is and what it's about. So, sorry, it does not accept capital letters and workspace name. So, okay, show description of your workspace. This is the SAS. Next, we have to choose the hosted workspace, which is the default choose for us anyways. And you can choose either of these. Either you can make it private or you can make it public. It really doesn't make a difference. It's quite all right. Since you're doing it for the course, you can actually set it to private. This way, you know that your coursework is just yours and it's not being like, I don't know, open for other-based purposes. Okay, now the next important thing, you have this clone from Git or Mercurial. it is not valid for us at this moment. You can see these are the same steps that I have that are mentioned in the setting up 9 steps. You need to set up this custom template. It just creates a very basic Ubuntu installation. We can do not want to create reused Rails or anything else, because what we'll be doing in this particular instance is we'll be creating using an image. We'll be downloading an image from the SaaS book info server, and for that we need to have a custom workspace. So we are here, so let's do this. It's that simple. It's that simple. I mean, if you try to actually do a setup of Rails on your system, I mean, God help you if you're on Windows, because it just doesn't work out through. Okay. On the other hand, oh, see, that's so straightforward. How easy was that? Right? Blink and it's done. Okay. One option Windows users have, even on Mac, Linux, it's quite a tedious process actually trying to just install Rails. The other option, of course, Windows users mostly have is to create a virtual machine, but that again takes a bit of time to set up. And in this case, it just happened in seconds, right? Less than a minute, which is why it's so very useful. There are options we have. We have Cloud9. In the previous course, I believe we had all used Nitrous. That was pretty friendly again, right? So whatever works. Cloud9 is also pretty very good for our purposes. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to create an image. You need to run this set of commands that will what it does is it'll create an image. It'll create a workspace for us. It'll download data from the SaaS book info server, and it'll make our system ready for use for the course, right? It really helps, of course, when you're working with on Rails to have an idea of basic command line, the basic command line of the Unix Linux command line. In case you are not, I mean, if you're familiar, that's great. You can correct me if I'm wrong, and if you're not familiar, I'll just do a quick run up of what this means. It's just if you do just this one line, make your and this set of commands will make it much easier for will set your environment up. So what does this command mean? curl. Curl is basically the I call it curl. Curl is it's a tool. Basically, it's a utility to transfer data to or from a server. In this particular instance, we are transferring data from this particular SaaS info server, right? And the options these are the options that go with the curl utility. Basically, it tells the curl what to do. I don't want what I want to turn off. What I want, something on that sort. In this case, minus F. Let's look at the first one. Minus F is minus basically tells that these are options. So we just look at the F is basically for fail silently on server errors. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Now, if there's a server, it'll just fail silently. It'll not I mean, it won't give you a whole set of error messages that may just intimidate a new user, right? S, the other one after F, that's a small s, right? It's a silent mode or the quiet mode. What it does is it tells the shell to not show a progress meter and or error messages. Okay, in case there's some kind of a problem with the it does not show error messages. Say okay, fine, downloading, different bars that come with it. It doesn't do anything with it, anything like that. So basically what you have is a clean setup. It's a cleaner what do you say cleaner setup. It's more of a cleaner environment to understand, much more easier, simpler process to understand. The capital S, of course, is for showing error messages. When it's used with the small s, it means it will show only the error messages. Small s, and it still will suppress error messages that happen when to suppress any of the progress meter. In this case, the big S will say show only the error messages, just don't show the progress where we are right now. L is actually one of my favorite options on curl. Basically, what L does is the capital L does is it's a location, stands for location, and what it does is, say for example, if the server has been moved, that if the server reports that the requested page, in this case, okay, where this the default where this points to, has been moved to a new location, particular option will tell curl to redo the request, the download request or the upload request. In this case, it's the download request on the new location. So, so, so that helps. So in case even if it's just moved, the page is moved, whatever is moved, and it just points to a link to it, and Curl just takes it automatically from there. This is of course the pipe. What it does is, for command line noobs or for those who need a refresher courses, it types the this particular uh, command into these particular sets of commands. This is an and. We'll come to it. What it does, it sets this, pipes it into this particular command. Okay, and what the bash login does is, it basically tells you to behave as a login screen. Makes the shell active is it's been directly invoked at login by login. Okay, and then in addition to all this in addition to all this, we use the RVM utility. Now the RVM is a utility. It stands for Ruby Version Management, Ruby Version Manager actually, and RVM. What we're trying to install is, we're trying to install Ruby and Rails. So in this case, it will tell RVM is basically used to install it. Tell and the option of use on the on RVM tells the RVM to use to install Ruby 2.2.2. So that's will be the version of Ruby that we're using in this particular instance. So that's pretty much it, and we go. It does observe. It takes about 5 minutes, so it's a good idea to let me explain. It's a good idea to it's 5 minutes. You can stretch your legs, you can get a cup of coffee, or you can actually sit and notice how the entire installation process goes through. As part of the imaging, the environment setup, you'll see a few of the gems being installed, right? You don't really have to note any of this down, but if something catches your eye, you can always like go check on it. Like say Zentest, you can go to Ruby Gems, and you can just read up on what it does and what it basically does and performs, how to use it. I'm going to go on mute now and just going to keep the screen running till say the setup is complete. I'm just taking this opportunity to remind you remind all those who are enrolled in this course to uh, go through the Code Academy or Ruby learners. It's a very easy format they've given to learn Ruby for beginners, right? Uh, you need to go through the entire track, and this is because if the course actually goes on a pretty fast track, right, and gives you a fair idea of where you stand on Ruby. Especially for your homework assignments, you're going to need it not just only for the homework assignments, actually to understand what the course is, what the professors are talking about. So yes, definitely, I definitely recommend you to do the Code Academy course. The link is given um, in the first in -1 itself, right? Please go through it. It's quite straightforward. It's not at all an intimidating language, but you need to get your basics in, especially when you pair programming. Fantastic way to learn code and learn, and it's very interactive, and it's all over a superior experience to just sitting and when you pair programming, the entire team, I mean, whether it's two or three, or uh, you'll need to bring your skills to the table, right? So yeah, the Code Academy also has a Rails track. Code Academy also has a Rails track. So that is something I'd definitely recommend once you have completed your Ruby track. You can also do the Ruby on Rails by Michael Hartle. It could take hardly a week, even for a newbie for to go through. And it'll leave you feeling a lot more confident of where you stand on Rails. It's a very handheld way of learning Rails. And then when you come back to the CS to the course, you'll be in a much in a better way to actually approach the subject, to understand the subject and the assignments. All in all, this CS169.1x is a fantastic course. It's a fun course. I did when I undertook it last time. Right, I learned a lot. Background learning tool. It just helps you learn so much more. I mean, pretty much you have like at the start of the session, you have two people in pretty much in the same boat. At the end of your pair programming session, both of three of you would have learned so much more. I think we're almost done here. Okay, a couple more minutes. So I'm just gonna get a cup of just go grab a cup of coffee or something, and microphone on mute. Right, and we are done here. We have successfully installed the environment for our assignment for our course. So how do we check? We check by doing what I've done is this command says Ruby -v. It gives me the version of Ruby that's been installed. Okay, and if I want to check the Rails version, I'll do a Rails -v. It tells me I'm on Rails right now on 4.2.4, and the RVM, just making sure. Okay, we're using the latest version. Fantastic. Right, so we've pretty much done a big part. There's just one small part. We've done two down, three to go. The 3 steps. Okay. Now, finally, we need to set up a public SH key pair. So what this will do is it will link your C9 account to your GitHub, and it's easier. This is essential for assignments, basically, because what you'll need to do is, in the case, say, of an assignment, say if your homework week 1, 0, week 1, which one is it? Check. Which is, yeah, for example, for this Ruby into week for homework 0, what you will need to do is you need to fork from the GitHub, from the SaaS account of from GitHub into your account. I mean, in your own GitHub, and then you need to clone it down. Do a Git clone, which is why it's also essential. In addition to this, to this installation, the next step you need to do, if you've already not done, is you need to do the Git immersion course, so you have a very good idea of using of what Git is and using it, right? That is pretty much. Yeah, you definitely need to do that. And what else do you need? There's also something else I believe that is essential for the setup. I'll come to it. Let me just finish off where we are right now. Okay, so what we have done right now is you've created, you have a Git. At this point in time, you have a GitHub account. You have a C9 account. You have a workspace in your C9 account where you'll be, you know, working on your assignments for the SAS course. And at this point in time, you have installed the environment. You've set up the environment for working on for the course. Right. The next thing we need to do is to set up a public SSH pair Git9 instance. Basically, you need to add these keys to GitHub. Right. The 2 ways to do it. Okay, there's the easy way, and then there's this way. It's actually a lot more complicated at this point in time. The easy way to do it is, sorry, is to here. Okay, so okay, sorry, that's what I needed. I was just randomly clicking buttons too because I forgot this is the one I need, or the path is. So what you need to do at this point in time must have seemed pretty weird for anyone who's watching, right? Is to go to your account settings, click on it, go to your SSH keys. This is the SSH key you need, and you need to copy this, and you need to go to your GitHub account, which I'm hoping you already are in. Your GitHub account settings. See, you have an SSH key here. At this point in time, it's a clean slate again. I'll do add SSH key. Say C9. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. And how do I know that I'm actually done? I've done the right thing. So basically, when you're copying it, you just need to copy the whole of the key, okay, right till the end of your email account. So don't copy my key. Yeah, it just they was just showing it to you, right? Please don't take a screenshot and mess me up, right? Or you can do this by the long way, which is basically a whole bunch of steps. So yeah, I just picked up the easy way because C9 comes with its own setup SSH keys, right? How do you know that it's actually worked? It's very straightforward. Is first you go to your own account, my account. I have a better idea. I'll tell you how to set this up. We'll just try to get the first homework down. Okay. Right. So this is what we do. This is how we will be to perform. Everyone, all those who are working with assignments will have to. This is the steps for every assignment. The first thing you do is you fork it. Okay. So what happens is, can you see it? You have copy in your account now. Okay. In this, in case I have it in my account, then out here you go to the clone URL. Here you have different options. You'll have I don't know. You have HTTPS, SSH. In this case, because we're using SSH, we will just click select SSH if it's not here, if that's not what's mentioned here, and do a copy to clipboard, right? And then you go to your sorry. Then you to your cloud here and do a git clone control V. So what this does is it'll clone. It'll just make a copy of the assignment. The copy the clone of it'll copy the assignment that's in your GitHub space. You can see here, right? All right, sorry, which is mine. This one. Is, this is the one I just created now. Okay, so it'll do is it'll clone a copy, and this is exactly where you are. So you're here right now at this point in time. I'm not coming across quite articulate there for the past 5 minutes, so I'm really sorry about that. Yeah. So right at this point in time, you have your assignment, which you've just cloned in your and you're set up. That's it. Your Cloud9 is set up. Right. That's just to show you you've actually been able to you've done your setup properly. So since you've done your setup, fantastic. Right. What you also need to do at this point in time is not this point in time. Okay. Just do an RMRF. You see, I try to do a git status here because I have uh, not said done a git in it. I think it's as terrible as right. I've not set up my git in it, and that is a problem. Which is why to have to do that. That is the next thing you'll have to do on your I've tested the Git setup, I've made sure my Cloud9 is working fine, and this is just, it's that straightforward, it's that easy to set up, right? I mean, you can actually condense the whole thing, works into 10 minutes of, and actually less than 5 minutes of actual getting stuff sorted out, and 5 minutes, well, 5 minutes plus of waiting around for the environment to be set up. And that's all we have for today. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. And that's it for setting up the Cloud9. If you have any problems, okay, can do one thing is, because I just realized that in case you're not very familiar, or you need more familiarity with the curl utility and the bash, the command line, or maybe like a shortcut page, right? What I will do is I will mention this in YouTube, in the video, what do you say, the notes you have, right, where you can kind of expand and say show more. Right? I'll mention the shortcut page, the cheat sheet, kind of cheat sheet for both the curl utility as well as for the command lines. That's it from me for now. Okay, for this is only for the CS169.1x home week -1. Once you're done with this, your setup is complete. You need to move next into doing a quick into doing the Git immersion course, and into definitely doing the Code Academy Ruby track. This will get you started in shape for week 0 and incoming week 1. Have fun on your course. Okay, I certainly did have a lot of. I really thoroughly enjoyed learning it. It's course is pretty kick ass, and it will kick your ass if you're not to speed, or if you don't focus on it. All the best. The TAs are all around here to help you, guide you. So, and we're here to make sure that we all learn, right? Learn, and we also get to learn a bit more. And that's it. Just stop talking now. Okay.